You know, I never forget one of my old teachers, Dougie Dunn, who was the head of music in Belfast. He took me to a piano recital once, you know, and I was absolutely, totally in awe of Douglas, you see. You know, he always smelled of pipe tobacco and beer and stuff, you know, and he'd take me along there, and I was thinking, and this fellow started playing all these Chopin studies. And Dougie nodded off asleep, you know. So I didn't know if I should wake up my teacher or not, you know. And I was only like 13 at the time, maybe 12. And eventually he woke up himself and he turned to me and he said, "Jesus, is he still at it?" And then he went back to sleep. Now, this was a piano player who was famous for playing these Chopin things, you know. And I thought it was okay, you know, I liked it. But I don't know how anybody could get locked into playing just Chopin. It's beautiful music, beautiful, wonderful sentiment. And, you know, the piano concertos of Chopin are like jewels. But I think, you know, sometimes you need to put on an old T-shirt or you need to wear a different watch or something. I don't know. And in the music, I like to do all sorts of things. Our fans.
Okay. Make sure the flutes go back to the right people.
Like the Cooper,
back to us.
Does this go in this case?
No, that goes in there.
See you all next year, same time.
Same piece. Same piece.
Same piece. Don't forget, in the meantime, practice.
When the rest of the summer students depart, one special talent remains for further study. Jennifer Sturgeon was runner-up in the BBC Young Musician of the Year competition in 1988. Like Galway, she too comes from Belfast. They speak with the same accent, and that creates a special bond between them.
The teaching is something I do more because I think I should do it. Mainly because I really believe in the method that I have and also with the success I have with the kids. I mean, when they stand there in front of you, I can really improve them in a certain time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I get them really going. And it's something that I get a kick out of too, you know. Piece, we should be thinking in a sort of reflective mood. Down by the Sally Gardens, where I met my first love and all this stuff, you know. So we should be thinking not so active, not like dee da dee da da dee da da dee. You know what I mean? A little bit slower on the upbeat and then tempo. Da da dee da da dee da da dee.
Jennifer plays Charles Villiers Stanford's setting of W.B. Yeats' poem Down by the Sally Gardens. Billy Dunwoody is Jennifer's teacher.
The principles involved in interpretation are getting the mood, for example. A lot of people, when they play an adagio, they're not even thinking about thoughts turned inwards. You know, you have to be able to compose yourself inside. Adagios should be maybe a little bit more inward, allegro a little more out. You see, these little things like this. And you have to teach that to these kids because these kids, they play adagio, allegro, everything from within the same. And also teaching them basically how to interpret pieces. You know, how to keep up the concentration. How to keep the tone flowing in a phrase. people, you know, when they're playing even simple tunes, like any song, everybody thinks, you know, maybe this is one thing. A lot of people think that because I play any song, it's just a sort of quick way to make a buck. Well, it's just as difficult to play any song as it is to play the slow movement of the Mozart D major concerto, because you have to apply your whole self to doing that. You have to apply your mind, your musical interpretation. Intonation problems are the same. The color of the tone. You have to, with these tunes, you have to figure out a good octave to play everything in and things like this. So there is a lot of work goes into these things. We don't just get up and play the piece. In fact, I like to change the piece so that it's better for the flute. A lot of people playing, maybe, for example, the Swan is in G major. On the flute, I don't like it in G major. I like it in A flat. Let me show you. G major. Maybe. The notes lie more gently together, and you can caress the keys nicer. You don't have these action of G, F sharp, B, E. It's a nicer action on the fingers. And this is the sort of thing that you have to look for and that you have to decide in playing these pieces. You don't just get an arranger, arrange the music, and off you go. You have to really think about it. And, you know, a lot of people are asking me all the time to play this, that, and the other thing, and I said, no, I don't want to play this tune. They said, but Jimmy, this is the most popular tune. I said, I don't care, but it doesn't work on the flute. You know, it's not a fluty tune.